Everybody, my name is Jamel Boukabou, two-star executive with Youngevity International. It is lovely to have you all here today. And we do have the best doctor, I think, on the planet, Dr. Joel Wallach. He's got a book in the Smithsonian, speaks at the UN, sold well over 500 million copies of the audio version, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. He's also got the book with the same title. We are going to have a lecture followed by a Q&A, which will go for about 1 hour. So I really appreciate it if all the people on the call can keep muted until our Q&A section. If you do have a question for Dr. Wallach, please have your chat box open and follow the instructions there. We need to know your name, where you're from, age, height, and weight. I am not a doctor or a healthcare professional. I'm a distributor with Youngevity. And so please contact your own healthcare professional for advice. If you are interested in the products and what Dr. Wallach is talking about, or becoming a distributor also, like myself, please contact the person that referred this video to you. So with any further delay, week number 27, wow. Dr. Joel Wallach, thank you, welcome, and g'day.
Well, good day, Jamal, and thank you to your entire team and all of Australia, New Zealand, and Hawaii, and all the other places that are listening through this. I appreciate it. And I want to talk about the basics today. All vertebrates require the 90 essential nutrients, whether you're a wombat or a kangaroo. If you're an emu, it doesn't matter if you're a whale or a porpoise or an elephant, a giraffe, a human being, a dog, a cat, a monkey. All vertebrates require the 90 essential nutrients. And they're required to our daily functions of each cell. They require materials to do their functions, whether it's an enzyme function or digestion function or movement function or transmission of information function or storage of information function or whatever, carrying oxygen and so forth, repairing injured tissues. All of these events, be they the daily event or dealing with injuries or so forth, require these 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 acids, 3 fatty acids. Now, if you ask a doctor, should I be taking any vitamins and minerals? The odds are they'll say, nah, just eat well, you get everything you need. Well, that's not true, because nutritional minerals, for instance, we require 60. They do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. We need to make sure that we're getting all the nutrients we need, because they do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And so a carrot that's grown in one part of Australia, okay, is not going to have the same nutrients in it as a carrot grown on the other side of Australia, in Queensland versus New South Wales and so forth. They're going to have different values of nutrients in them. So just saying, well, I'm eating the same recipe that so-and-so is, and they live to be 112, I'll do okay. Well, no, not necessarily, because it depends on where that carrot was grown. So the only way you can guarantee you're going to get all 90 is to supplement. And of course, as Jamal pointed out, I've got a unique training. I have a degree in agriculture. My major was in animal husbandry and nutrition. My minor was in field crops and soils. I have a degree in veterinary medicine, where we deal a lot with nutrition, because we don't have health insurance for them, for the animals, farm animals or pet animals. And I have a degree in pathology, a postdoctoral fellowship. It's kind of like a PhD degree. Did 20,000 autopsies, a $25 million grant back in 1967. That was a lot of money back then. It's kind of pennies now, but back then it was a lot of money. And it was a 10-year study, 1967, 1977. I did 20,000 autopsies, 17,000 some change of over 454 species of animals. And for that one project, I also did 3,000 humans, after which I did another 8,000 autopsies on humans. And so all this material is in the Smithsonian Institute, as Jamal pointed out, is my thesis, as a national treasure, because I showed there were no genetically transmitted diseases, no genetically transmitted birth defects, which was kind of mind-blowing. And you have to appreciate that all the diseases that doctors said and researchers said were genetic occurred after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, in the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, when Thomas Edison pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plant. Now, up until that moment, whether you're a king or a business builder, a business owner, a farmer, a fisherman, or a wanderer, it didn't matter. Everybody's getting their minerals from wood ashes. Of course, it varied highly depending on where the wood came from, because again, even then, nutritional minerals occurred in veins like gold and silver. So some wood ashes might have 3 minerals, some wood ashes would have 12, some would have 20. And there were places where people lived a long time. They were called the blue zones. The blue zones where people lived a long time. And of course, in the Garden of Eden, people lived to be 150, 300, 700, 969, and all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming that the Garden of Eden was one of the blue zones. Where people lived a long time because they had everything in it. Okay, well, you have to appreciate that. Then I went back to school in 1982, graduated as a physician, a naturopathic physician. And so I've been using all this information on my human patients since 1982. And we've figured out that there's this basic program that everybody has to have, which we call the Healthy Start Pack. That's our core part of the program. We have what we call secret sauces for over 600 different diseases. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. And it just so happens when we went to electricity and gave up wood and our sources of minerals, at the same time, all these nutritional deficiency diseases started appearing. The Watson and Crick were beginning to do their research on genetics and chromosomes and stuff. And so doctors began to blame all these unknown diseases on bad genes and bad chromosomes and that kind of stuff. And that's where that came from. And so they missed it by 1,000 miles. And so that's why my thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute, it's a national treasure. That's why I'm considered, along with Bruce Lipton, one of the 2 fathers and founders of the science of epigenetics, which has replaced genetics because there are no genetically transmitted diseases. So get over it. Again, type 2 diabetes is a simple nutritional deficiency disease. I take people who've been a type 2 diabetic for 30 years, and 30 days they're next diabetic. Congestive heart failure is a deficiency of a single vitamin. These heart attacks that young athletes die from, these hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart attacks, are caused by deficiency of a single mineral. Now, I'm also credited with getting rid of 3 major juvenile diseases. One was cystic fibrosis in 1977, found the first non-human case in a monkey colony. I was working with NASA, and these monkeys were supposed to go out in space and everything. And one of them wound up with cystic fibrosis and got a confirmation. And they're all excited because they thought it was the first genetic disease in monkeys like humans. It turns out that the manager of the colony would change the diet, and they changed it to just fruits and vegetables instead of the monkey pellets. And they got deficiencies. And to make a long story short, I also found out the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. I gave that information to Jerry Lewis from the telethon back in 2011, and the Muscular Dystrophy Association fired Jerry Lewis because he brought them the cure for muscular dystrophy. And then also, I learned that in 1988, Dr. Milan and I went to China. We did 1,700 autopsies on kids under the age of 10 who were dying of Keyshan disease, which is that hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart attack, the same thing that athletes die from. And 35% of them had cystic fibrosis, 100% had muscular dystrophy, and 200 of them, of the 1,700, would have been diagnosed as sudden death syndrome in America. Well, at that time, okay, in 1988, when that study was done in China, 1 in 300 normal births, the kids would die from what they called sudden death syndrome. And they said that the mothers are laying on the babies. Well, that wasn't true. Only 2% of the babies that died of sudden death syndrome were in bed with their mothers. 98% were in the crib. So I forced them to change the name of the death to crib death as opposed to sudden death syndrome. And then April 16th, 2013, a federal judge in the United States ruled, because of that 1,700 studies or autopsies, was published in 1990, they had to force these manufacturers of baby formulas to put these nutrients in the baby formulas, Enfamil, Similac, and the like. And this is when cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and sudden death syndrome went away. And it was September, let's see here, 13th, 2014, big headlines in the Charlotte Observer newspaper in Charlotte, North Carolina, here in the States. We don't know why, but sudden death syndrome has vanished in the state of North Carolina. And so we're very proud of that. And of course, this is just a couple of weeks ago, they came out and said, now the rate of death from sudden death syndrome, instead of being 1 in 300 normal births, now it's 1 in 3,000. And that's because there's a few still happening because people are still giving babies cow's milk and goat's milk instead of breast milk and so forth. And if everybody were to make sure that these babies are getting the supplements, there'd be no more cystic fibrosis, no more muscular dystrophy, and no more sudden death syndrome. So we're very, very proud of that. And again, we've eliminated literally 600 different diseases were thought to be a combination of genetic and autoimmune and so forth, like psoriatic arthritis. The people who can't figure out that you can actually prevent diseases like like the pandemic we've got right now by getting rid of the bad foods that interfere with absorption and nutrition. Okay, we're talking about fried foods, processed meats, oils, and glutens, wheat, brown, and oats. And then you also have to consciously supplement with the 90 essential nutrients, which is our Healthy Start Pack. And the big hammer toolbox we call the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, which has other things added to it. And it's one of those things where we can actually end all of these problems we have now very quickly because we know the cause. They're nutritional deficiencies. They're not autoimmune. But the bone marrow dies when you can't get nutrition to it. And these people cannot respond to the COVID vaccines very well. That's why they say, oh, some people, they have only a 40% response to the vaccination. Some people, I get calls now. People say, well, I took the vaccines and my mother and father took the vaccines. And my mom died of COVID a month after she had the vaccine. How could that be? Well, that's because she was eating gluten, wheat, brown, oats, was not supplementing with the basic Healthy Start Pack. So she didn't get the nutrition to make her bone marrow happy. So her bone marrow could not respond to the vaccination. And so this is a process by which there's all these different pieces, okay? And you have to supplement with the 90, the Healthy Start Pack. If you have like 3 or 4 or 5 or 8 major diseases, which is not unusual, you need to, again, take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Now, we do have the book, Epigenetics, which was this new science that we've created to replace genetics. We have there's a 2 CD set that goes along with it, same title, Epigenetics. We have the book and the CD called Hell's Kitchen, which goes into the history of 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, when we began to deal with the pandemics, the Spanish flu. And then we also have the book and the CD called Immortality, in which we deal with the longest lived peoples on Earth and what it is they do. There's a universal thing. They live around volcanic ash. They live near the ocean. When you look at the blue zones, these people eat a lot of seaweed. And I'm assuming because in Australia and New Zealand, you have such a low rate based on the population, you have low rates of COVID infections and deaths. In Australia, my latest numbers were 28,980 infections and 909 dead. In New Zealand, let's see here, is 2,350 infections and 26 dead, okay? And that's because these people in New Zealand and Australia eat a lot of seaweed and corn and rice and that kind of stuff. Vegetables, rice, beans and squash and so on. Where the countries like Europe, the UK, your mother country, the UK, which is England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, they have 4 million infections, and they only have double your population, and 121,000 dead. That's because their intestines are dead because they eat gluten for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was actually the UK that brought gluten around the world so that the sailors could have access to good English bread. And so that's where that all came from. And so it's one of those things where if everybody were to take the 90 essential nutrients, the healthy start pack, and stay away from gluten to maximize absorption of all these nutrients, we won't have any more of these pandemics. Okay, that's why we don't have pandemics in animals, not because we vaccinate them for all these diseases, is because they get the 90 essential nutrients. And it used to be that horses, they were getting oats, a lot of gluten in oats. And that's why they would go lame and all that kind of stuff. And they were living in places that didn't have a lot of minerals in the soil. So we changed everything to alfalfa pellets and the vitamins and minerals in the alfalfa pellets. So they're getting their 90 essential nutrients in the alfalfa pellets as opposed to eating oats and pasture. And so that's why horses live to be 18, 20 years old now instead of 3 or 4 or 5 and have all these injuries and stuff like they used to have. And I'm just so thankful we have a relationship with Australia, New Zealand, and of course, Hawaii, our 50th state. And Hawaii, of course, is kind of a mix of our Western diets and the Asian diets. So they have a relatively low number of infections and deaths, much like the people who are part of the blue zones, like Okinawa. Okinawa has 101 dead, and they have 1.5 million infections, or excuse me, population. They have 8,000 infections, and Hawaii has 1.5 million people. They have 425 dead and 27,000 infections. But people with the same populations in other parts of the world who eat like Europeans don't do very well because of the death of the bone marrow. And so even taking supplements, their absorption efficiency goes way down. So it's imperative that the absorption efficiency is way up there. And so that's why you got to get rid of the wheat, the barley, the rye, and the oats, take your 90 essential nutrients, and you'll be blessed with a long, healthy life. And so I want to point out, when you look at the longest lived peoples, let's look at some place like Vietnam that has 96 million people. They have 35 dead from the COVID. They have 2,000 infections, but they're getting the 90 essential nutrients by eating a lot of seaweed and kelp and things like that. It's part of the Asian diet, and rice and sweet potatoes and beans. Okay. Whereas somebody like Germany with about 83 million people, not quite the same as the Vietnamese, but Germany, okay, they have 67,000 dead versus the Vietnamese 35 dead, not 35,000, but just 35 dead. And of course, again, Germany has 67,000 dead, almost 68,000 dead, and 2.4 million infections. That's because they live on wheat, brought around oats. And so it's imperative that we get rid of the wheat, brought around oats out of our diet to maximize absorption. You want those villi in your intestines to be healthy and be there. And then you want to supplement with the 90, the healthy start pack. And what a great gift to give somebody. You're going to add 25 to 50 healthful years to their life by introducing them to this. And again, we have the CDs, we have the books. And of course, I don't know what number or email or something you want to give out so people can order the books and the CDs and so forth and get the information, get that information out. It makes great gifts for birthdays, anniversaries, graduation gifts, things you're going to award people for doing something. Give them a book and a CD, give them a month's supply of the Healthy Start Pack, and talk to them. We actually have a CD called Serial Killers. It goes into the story in great detail of the gluten issue. So we call it Serial Killers, not SERIAL, like somebody who kills 10 people every night, but a serial killer, CEREAL, okay, because people would eat wheat, bran, around oats, and it's the cereal that's killing them by killing their bone marrow, by killing their villi in their intestines. And so that's a good place to start with people. Get them on Hell's Kitchen and get them on Serial Killers. That's a good combination. Okay, over to you, Jamel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. And Dr. Wallach is talking about, these are the essential nutrients. This is a healthy start pack, the foundation.
Yes.
You want to be on this, well, Dr. Wallach says for 100 pounds of body weight, one of these a month. So if you're doing the business, it's just one of those, and you add a few extra things, and we go from there. If you just want to be healthy, just have one of those a month according to your body weight as well. If you do want to get Dr. Wallach's books or tapes or CDs, if you are in the US, you can go straight to drjwallach.com and order on the website. If you are in Australia or New Zealand, go to drjwallach.com. You're going to have to call the number on the website and call in business hours Pacific time to order your CDs, books. I do the same as well. For the corporate office in New Zealand, it is 1-800-756-467, which services Australia and New Zealand. And for USA, it's 1-800-982-3189. We're very, very lucky today to have one of the most successful network marketers on the planet, my upline as well, Tom Chenault, who's going to kick us off before the Q&A. And also Dracy's on the call today from Sales in Corporate. She's going to give us some updates as well. So Tom, how are you going, mate?
I am doing great. Hello there, Wildman Wallach, and hello, Dracy, and all you people with your cameras on. Gerald and Sheryl and David and Bronwyn, Jackie Rennie, Deb Flanagan, Gabriella, Roel, unbelievable. I just love you guys. It's so good to see you. It's such a great night. And I promised Jamel I wouldn't be all businessy. So here's the deal. You want to build a little business, get enrolled, start bringing in a lot of customers. My whole philosophy of Youngevity, how you get rich in Youngevity, is you go out there and you enroll 100 people, 80 customers, and be the best customer service person on the planet. 15 distributors, let them be distributors. They're going to distribute a little bit. They're going to make a tiny bit of money. And then 4 or 5 influencers or business builders like I am. And we are just absolutely obsessed with Dr. Wallach, his mission, and the commission. And just let people be right where they are. So you're not going to be jamming CEO packs down anybody's throat or anything like that. You don't have to be a wild man network marketer. You just have to tell the story of Dr. Joel Wallach and his company, Youngevity, powerfully. And that starts out by telling your story. And you tell it where it really fits into the listening of the person across the table from you. So if the person across the table from you wants to talk about the products, that's wonderful. Don't talk about the business. And if the person across the table from you wants to talk about the business, don't talk about the products. Show them there's a way for them to make a living. And don't interview people with your eyes. Interview them with your ears. And remember them. And so I use an app called Contact Mapping to keep track of all these people because, you know, I can take your picture, I have it in there, and then I document your story, and then I set you up to remember you on a very regular basis because none of us like to be followed up, but all of us love to be remembered. And I just want you all to become better rememberers. And if you do that, you're going to have it made in the shade. And I've been with Dr. Wallach for over 20 years. I am telling you, he was a kid when I met him, and now he's still a kid. He's aging backwards, and he's like that. I can't remember the thing, you know, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel or somebody. I can't remember the movie. But Dr. Wallach is literally 82 years old and looks better than he did a decade ago. He's aging backwards. So what more could we want than that? And then what we want to do, and you guys all know how to find me. And all I do is follow your lead. I'll never come down to Australia or get on one of your Zooms and talk at you. I promise you. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to do what I can to help you build your business. That's why you hired me, to help you build your business. Not you build Tom's business, not you build Dr. Wallach's business, not you build Dracy's business, not you build Steve and Michelle Wallach's business. No, you are building your business. We're just your support team. And we need to remember that. So I love you. Where's little Forrest Stivens? I can't believe that little nose picker's not here. I thought I'd get to see him tonight. And Jamel, where's that handsome roommate of yours?
He's right back there.
So somebody in the comments, and I'm gonna fall on the sword for whoever it is that said, I eat gluten-free oats every day. I'm telling you, there's no such thing. And Dr. Wallach says, pack that stuff up and don't throw it out. Give it to your doctor. So
With love.
That's how bad it is for you. So I love that line. So I was saving you some aggravation because, yeah, if it says so on the box, that means nothing. There's no such thing as gluten-free oats, which I'm heartbroken about it too, by the way. I want gluten-free oats. I want sugar-free sugar. I want fried food unfried. I mean, I'm the same way all of you are, but the fact of the matter is, I take one look at Dr. Wallach and I heave that stuff out the window and I go to the good foods, bad foods list and I do what he says. And I'm a pretty spry 69-year-old myself, all because of that man in the top left-hand corner. I love him. I love you. And I don't know what you're eating, Gerald, but I'm telling Dr. Wallach, it looked awful white. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And Dracy, I called you just to tell you I love you. I didn't call you back, but no, I do know that I know you got your work cut out for you, and I know you're giving it all you got. So love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. And Tommy's one of the best network marketers in the world.
Oh, he is great when it comes to helping people. He's a great support asset to everybody in the company, whether in his line or not. He is a supporter, just like this guy I know in Australia by the name of Jamel.
Thank you very much. Awesome, Tom. Great to hear from you and have you on the call. Dracy is head of sales in Australia and New Zealand. So she's got a few announcements to make. Dracy, if you would like to go ahead. You might have an unmute button.
There you go. Thank you so much. And it's definitely a privilege to be here on the call. And yes, Tom, didn't it sound like he was actually singing to us the way he was doing that? I think he is a fabulous singer. And the message he did actually leave for me was him singing, oh my God, like almost a 2-minute song. And he did
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Fabulous job. I had to share it, and so everybody that I know had to hear you sing that to me, Tom. Unfortunately, when I left the message back for Tom, I tried to sing He Was Nothing But a Hound Dog, but it was a big time fail, but I tried. And I was very brave about it. And if anybody knows me, I do not sing, but what I do is I follow your lead, Tom. So thank you for being a good lead to all of us here on the call. I really appreciate you. So I won't, without further ado, I really want to just give you guys a heads up moving into March, but it is the weekend, it's month end as we kick off into March. And I know it's a very exciting month. We had Alex training on how we can make the most of WinBack. We have our gorgeous Joel Wallach here today. And then tomorrow we have the Health Summit. So if you had the opportunity at the beginning of the chat, you'll see there's a link to the Health Summit. It's 10 fantastic, fabulous speakers, and Joel is back on that tomorrow being a guest speaker. I say this is the summit to be at. It couldn't be the better time, better place with the best company right now to be on that. So I just wanted to really highlight that for everybody. But where I come in is kicking off March. Kicking off March, we really want to support you as our distributors, as our customers, and how we really want to do that is all of our new customers. We know we want to look after our current customers. We want to bring in new customers, and we want to share with people and meet people where they're at. So any customer, we've always had it at $150 a customer or $110. Well, this is the first time we've been able to bring it down to any new customer that spends $99 inclusive of GST. New Zealand, as well as Australia, with their order, we are going to gift them with one of Youngevity's fabulous staples, and it is our Sozo coffee, a bag of our Soho coffee beans. We're excited about that because if you don't know, that coffee not only is fair trade, organic, it has our Youngevity minerals in it. And it's also loaded with the coffee berry, which happens to have more antioxidants than like a cup of blueberries in it. So if somebody drinks coffee out there, this is the coffee they want to drink. So we want people having conversations around our coffee, and we're going to gift it as a gift to everybody that becomes a customer or a new enrollee. And if someone becomes a new enrollee buying the welcome pack as well as their $99 purchase, they're going to get 2 bags, one for them and one to share. So I really wanted to just say, if you already are a coffee lover, or you would love to try our coffee, or you know someone who loves coffee, I want to gift you all here today, and how you can be gifted with our Youngevity coffee. If you're a part of our Youngevity group, which is NZ, the Youngevity NZ and AU Youngevity Facebook group, you'll see I just posted who here drinks coffee. If you do, how do you drink? Just by posting a picture or posting how you drink your coffee, you're going to have a chance to win. I'm giving away 10 bags of it, as well as right here on the call. I want to reward the person who's actually showing their face. And I was thinking, how can I reward the person showing their face on the Zoom? Because it makes our job better when we can see pretty faces like yours. But I saw that there's somebody that was 2 of you. And because it wasn't just you, we know this business is better when we do it, we share it. Gabrielle Role, there was her and someone else on that call. Are you still there? Because I'm going to gift you a bag of coffee in your next order, just for being on the call and showing your face. Okay, they just showed their face. Keep your face growing and going with us. So we're going to gift you coffee in your very next order. And everyone else on this call, if you want to have one of those coffees, please go and post on our Facebook group a photo or how you love your coffee, or someone you know loves your coffee. As I finish off, just so we can get back to the fabulous doc, watch for more. We want to rev up the month of March. So we are going to be giving our rev away for over 25% off. So watch for that until it's posted. I will post it when it's launched. We're going to have St. Patrick's Day, as well as the Mother's Day guide is going to be posted on the 15th with major discounts. So that's what's exciting about the month of March. You get to pump up those muscles and make yourself great. So thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm of service to you. Please don't hesitate to call me, however I can help you. I love what I do, and I do it because of you. Thanks, everybody. And it's all
Thanks,
to you,
Dracy.
Joel.
Thank you, Dracy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dracy. And we've got to go to Q&A now. I've got a lot of questions now. Just please follow those prompts in the chat box there. We need to know your name and where you're from, so we do know how to announce you. We've got moderator Mike, who's a 1-star with teamg'day.com helping out there with the Q&A. So we're going to go to Gabriella in California. Gabriella, if you'd like to unmute yourself, go ahead and speak to Dr. Wallach.
Sure. Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi, how can we help you?
What an honor.
Well, you're very sweet. How can we help you?
Well, I'm here with my friend Amy, which is my mentor, and she's amazing, Amy Peraza, and she's helping me to be here with you guys, and I really appreciate this opportunity. What happened is that I have some different problems. Problem is that I have osteopenia at this moment. I have chronic back pain. Myofascial syndrome, which it makes
I know
me,
it.
Yes. Okay. And, yes.
Now, do you have any other issues, any diabetes or high blood pressure?
No.
Okay. How much do you weigh?
151.
And how tall are you?
5'5".
Okay. And how old are you? What's your age?
58.
Okay. Okay, well, the first thing you need to do is get rid of all the bad foods to maximize absorption and protect your villi and your intestines, right? Protect your immune system. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat bran, no sugar. And people say, well, how long do I have to do that? Well, as long as you need oxygen and water, which means for your whole life, or forever, right? Okay. Then at 151 pounds, you're right at that cusp, but because you have some things that could prove to be life-threatening, okay, because you have osteopenia, which is kind of osteoporosis. Do you have any ringing in the ears, any tinnitus or ringing in the ears? Yeah, you have osteoporosis of the skull. You have osteoporosis of the skull. So I want you to get a hold of the book called It's All in Your Head, okay? There's 25 different diseases you can get when you have osteoporosis of the skull, including tinnitus, which is a squeezing of the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve. What about your sense of smell and taste? Do you have those or have you lost those?
No, I still have them.
Okay. Did you ever have Bell's palsy or one side of your face droops, or did you ever have trigeminal neuralgia where you have pain in your face, anything like that?
Yes, really bad. And one side of the jaw and my teeth. I still
Yeah.
have it once in a while, really bad.
Yeah, well, that's your skull squeezing the fifth cranial nerves called trigeminal neuralgia.
One side.
Okay. Now, do you ever have anything going on with your hands or your wrists or shoulders and arms?
And no, like pain, only pain, and they get swollen really
Yeah.
bad.
Your hands?
Yes.
Yeah, that's because your skull is squeezing your spinal cord as it comes out of the back of your skull. People don't realize it because they think your spinal cord is in your back. It's formed in the brain, comes out of the back of the skull. When you have osteoporosis of the skull, your skull goes from 1/4 of an inch thick to an inch thick. And that hole the skull comes through, and the foramen magnum skull is Latin for big hole. It gets smaller and squeezes that spinal cord. And that's why you're having all the neck and arm and back problems you got. So here we go. None of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, rye, oats, no sugar. I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Okay, that's our healthy start pack plus a couple of secret sauces there. So 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to have 1 bottle of our MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. That's going to help rebuild the cartilage and the ligaments and tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes your bones health. And help protect you, because the bone matrix is where your antibodies are made. That's where your bone marrow is making your white blood cells, your antibodies. So you want that healthy. And then you also need our vitamin D3. You live in California, do you? Or you live in Australia?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
California.
Well, even if you live in California, you don't get naked and lay out in the sun for 4 hours every day, do you?
Not really.
No.
Not really. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. So basically, you still need to take our vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day, that's 2 bottles a month. And also take 2 servings of our collagen to build also the cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue. That'll be 2 bottles a month of our capsules of the glucogel. Take 5 twice a day. And then call us every couple of weeks, because we do this and give a testimony, because your story is going to help a lot of people, because your syndrome, the thing that you've got going on here, is very, very common. And it's a matter of, you've been eating oatmeal for breakfast all your life, and you've been eating bread all your life, you've been eating spaghetti all your life, right? And so it's one of those things, you're set up. So if you get the infection, pandemic infection, you're going to have a bad time. Even if you have had a vaccination, you're not necessarily able to respond to the vaccination. So just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean anything.
Wow.
You got to get rid of the wheat, brown, rye, oats, and take all these things we just talked about. Don't forget our colloidal silver. Put 2 droppers full under your tongue twice. 2 droppers full under your tongue a half hour before breakfast, lunch, and dinner and bedtime. Use our hand sanitizer. Wear your mask. Okay. Make sure, I know I've got one here somewhere because I go outside. And so I do have my mask. Okay. It's been moved. Oh, yeah, here. Okay. Yeah, so you want the mask, and that way you will, oh, here it is. Okay. You want the mask thing. Okay. And so you want to do all that stuff, do everything you can to protect yourself, as well as take the 90 essential nutrients, that basic, which is required for your bone marrow to work, to defend you, to respond to the vaccine, and to maintain yourself. Your body, it goes away. It's just like a car engine. Why do you put oil in there? To keep it from wearing out. Why do you put coolant in the water in the radiator? Why do you have a fan belt? To prevent the engine from burning up. Well, these 90 essential nutrients, that healthy start pack, the healthy brain and heart pack, okay, is the same thing for us. So do let us know, because these problems you have are all going to go away.
No.
And so you're going to be a great testimony. Your story is going to help a lot of people. So we look forward to hearing from you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, doctor.
Thanks, Gabriella. And remember, all these calls are recorded and then uploaded to the New Zealand official Facebook page. It usually takes me and the team about a day or 2 to edit and upload that, because we put the minutes in the comments as well. So Gabriella, if you want to hear Dr. Wallach talk about that again, wait for a few days and go to the New Zealand official Youngevity page, and you'll be able to stream that, download that, share that with your friends, play it a presentation. You can do what you like with it. This call is open for every team, anybody that wants to hear the Dr. Wallach message. Now, just a quick note with the questions, please let me know your name and where you're from, because that helps me introduce you. And if it's a different name to what you are on the Zoom, let me know that as well. Thank you. We do have a question. Brian from Bondi Beach in Sydney. He's got gout and poor circulation. He's 35, 5'8", and 135 pounds. What should he be doing, Dr. Wallach?
Okay, did you say he weighs 135?
135.
Okay, and he's got gout.
Yep.
He's got circulation issues.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Is he where you can ask him a question, or is that just an email?
That's an email.
Okay. Well, gout has to do with what you eat. And so you got to get rid of uric acid. Okay. And we're talking about seafood like shrimp and shellfish, things like crabs and lobster and that sort of thing, because they have a lot of uric acid in them. Also, beans have a lot of uric acid in them. You got to give up beans. Okay, no beans, no shellfish, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And then he wants to take 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. And I want him also to get another bottle of our selenium with the 5 cofactors in it, not just from any pharmacy, but our selenium, because it's got 5 cofactors in it. 1 will be in the healthy brain and heart pack. He needs to take another bottle, so he can take 3 of those twice a day. I want him to get the ultimate enzymes, we call the gallbladder in a bottle. That's going to help him with digestion and what's going on in his stomach and so forth. And so I want him to take 2 of those. There'll be 2 bottles a month, 2 of our ultimate enzymes, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal, a couple ounces of water. And then because he has a circulation issue, and I don't know if he's got varicose veins or coronary artery disease, or by circulation issue, I don't know what that means, but he needs to take 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, take 3 twice a day, and that'll support healthy blood pressure, but also support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, in the coronary arteries in the heart, in the kidneys, in the legs, every place else. And so that's what's going on here. But I would also like to throw in one more thing. And do you have the Fucoid Z there? Do you guys have the Fucoid Z there? Hello?
We got it in the tablet form.
Okay, in the capsules. Okay, good. Yeah, the Fucoid Z. I want him to get 2 bottles of that so he can take 3 of those twice a day. That's going to give his bone marrow what it needs, and his liver what it needs to make sure that he's dealing with all that uric acid.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie from Western Australia. Valerie, go ahead.
Hello, Valerie.
Hello, Valerie.
Uh-oh.
Yes, it's okay. I'm here.
Okay.
There we go. Yes,
Okay.
we hear you. Okay.
Great to talk to you. As I put in my message, I'm 67, 5'4", about 100 pounds. And I have been diagnosed with ingrown eyelashes, dry eyes, and blepharitis.
So you have eye issues. Okay. And do you have any ringing in your ears? Do you have any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
No,
Okay. Do you have any balance problems or dizziness?
no, but very tense in the neck.
Okay. So you do have a neck thing. Okay. And do you have any high blood pressure, diabetes?
Low blood pressure. No,
Okay.
I mean, sugar, I don't do well on sugar,
Okay. So you have pre-diabetes maybe?
possibly.
Okay. All right. And then let's see here. One other thing. How's your sense of smell and taste?
Good.
Can you taste food okay?
Yes, I do. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Can you smell, when somebody lights a match, or can you smell onions and that kind of stuff?
I have a very heightened sense of smell.
Okay, good. All right. Well, here we go. You need to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat bran rhinos, no sugar. And then at 100 pounds, I want you to take 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. I want you to get another bottle of our selenium, so you can take 3 of our selenium at breakfast and 3 at dinner time, and then a half a dose of everything else twice a day. And I want you to let's see here, get our vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day. Okay. And I want you to take our MSM, take 3 of those twice a day, as 1 bottle a month. And if you think you really have trouble with sugar, I would also get 2 bottles a month of our sweeties, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. Now the MSM and the vitamin D3 and the minerals in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack are going to help you with the neck issues and all that kind of stuff. And again, at 67 years old, it's possible that you have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing, the spinal cord is coming out of the back of the skull, which can cause a neck stiffness. Do you have any issues with your hands, Valerie?
Little finger is starting to look arthritic.
Okay, yeah, and so that can be happening because your skull is squeezing your spinal cord, okay, and causing stuff going on in your hands and wrists and arms and so forth. So, but don't forget, got to get rid of the bad foods to maximize absorption, eliminate the inflammation, and give us a call every couple of weeks again. At your age, none of these things are due to age, but they are due to eating gluten for 67 years and not supplementing. And so it's essential for you to do those 2 things, supplement with the basic 90. In your case, because you have some issues, I want you to take a bigger hammer than the basic Healthy Start Pack. It's the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And we'll go from there. And we'd love to hear from you and get a testimony.
Okay, thank you very much.
You bet. God bless you. Okay,
too.
Jamel.
Thank you very much.
Jamel.
Thank you very much. Sheryl has a question for an associate. Go ahead, Sheryl.
I've got a friend called Nancy, Doc. She's been on Youngevity, 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs for 2 years. She's got poor circulation and atrophy of the squat muscles in her legs. So she's got damage from radiation she had some years ago. Her skin's really good, except in the back right behind her ankle, where she's got eczema, varicose, where she had the radiation. And on the whole, you know, her skin, everything else is really good.
Okay, stop. Okay, now does she have gray hair?
Yes, her hair used to be white and now it's going grey. It's changing colour over the last
Okay, so it's getting a little darker. Okay, good.
Yes.
And how much does she weigh?
140 pounds, 5'7", and she's 76.
Okay, 76. Okay, well, thank you. Yeah, all right. Well, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods. I'm repeating this for the greater audience out there because you know this, and she probably knows most of this, but she's been with us for 2 years, but she needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, and no processed meats, and no oils, and no glutens, no wheat, butter, oats, no sugar. And people forget and say, well, I can have one cheat day. I've been, doing this for 2 years now. No, don't take a cheat day. It's just like saying, well, I can shoot myself in the head once a month. That's, it's not going to hurt me. No, don't do that. And then at 140 pounds, I want her to take the 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs a month, the full dose, everything twice a day. And then because she has bone issues and leg issues and that kind of stuff, I want her to have the MSM. She can take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. I want her to have the vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And then I also want her to have the, she has circulation problems, right? And so I want her to have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. That'll support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the eyes, in the coronary arteries of the heart, the kidneys, the legs, every place else. And so again, we want to hear her testimony every couple of weeks. Don't wait 2 years.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Sheryl. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Sheryl. Okay, so we are going to go to Katherine from Waikato, I believe it's in New Zealand. First time caller, I think. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your Zoom name is Owner.
Okay. It's a Kiwi. She's a Kiwi, right? From New Zealand.
If you would like to unmute yourself, Katherine, go ahead.
It's not working. Can you hear me now?
We sure can.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have bipolar disorder, which is well controlled with medication. High cholesterol, osteoarthritis, severe reflux, anything with gluten, and sugar addiction.
Okay, so you crave sugar.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you need to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, no so sugar. And you weigh how much? Body weight?
78 kilos.
Well, give me kilos.
78.
78. Okay, so that's about 160 pounds. Okay. And so I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to take our MSM, 1 bottle a month, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. It'll help regrow cartilage and ligaments and tendons for all the arthritis stuff you got going on. And then I want you to have because you have reflux, I want you to take our ultimate enzymes. You go ahead and take 2 or 3 of those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal with a couple ounces of water. That will help with that reflux thing. But also you might have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, causing that is a possibility. Make sure you salt your food. We have a pink Himalayan salt with 84 minerals in it. I want you to salt your food. Don't avoid salt. Do not avoid salt. And do not take statin drugs to lower your cholesterol. Okay, cholesterol makes up 75% of your brain weight and 95% of estrogen. So you want to have cholesterol, but you want the good cholesterol. You want to get rid of the bad stuff so you don't turn good cholesterol into bad cholesterol. Now the bipolar thing, I want you to take what we call, additionally, I want you to take our Synaptive, which is a nutrient program that helps the cells in the brain talk to each other so that everybody's calm upstairs, okay? And then I also want you to take our de-stress capsules, take 3 of those twice a day. Also, that's 2 bottles a month. And eat 3 eggs twice a day, 3 chicken or 3 duck eggs twice a day, soft yolks. No hard-boiled eggs, they won't count. They got to be soft yolks, soft boiled, soft poached, soft scrambled in butter. And then call us every couple of weeks because you're going to have a great testimony for your bipolar. You're going to have a great testimony for the reflux. You're going to have a great testimony for your arthritis. And it's not uncommon that people have 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 8 different diseases. And doctors say, you know, you got all these degenerative diseases. You have autoimmune stuff. Your body's attacking itself. That's not true. These are all nutritional deficiency diseases because, you know, over your life, you've been eating, I'm sure, some gluten,
Yes.
killing your intestines, and supplementing may just be a recent thing. So, you know, everybody needs to know that you need to supplement. This is be forever. And you need to stay away from gluten forever. And all this kind of stuff, these pre-existing conditions will go away. And as long as there's a, you know, a pandemic thing going on with your pre-existing conditions, you want to make sure you're taking your colloidal silver, 2 droppers full under your tongue 3 times a day. And, you know, before each meal. And then a 4th time, 2 droppers full under your tongue a half hour before bed. And then don't forget to use our hand sanitizer and protect yourself against the bug. Even though you may have had a vaccination, the vaccinations cannot protect you if you're not absorbing because you've been eating gluten, and if you're not supplementing to make your bone marrow be able to make antibodies and wipe out cells. So thank you. A great question. Let us hear from you on a regular basis. That's one of the things I like when I call a place like Australia, New Zealand. I want to hear the testimonies to see how well people are doing.
Thank you very much, Doc.
Okay. Okay, Katherine.
Thank you very much. I think we've got time for one more. Debbi,
Okay.
California. Go ahead, Debbi.
Debbi, California girl.
First
How can we
time.
help you?
Go ahead. There should be an unmute button there, Debbi. We can see you.
There we
How
go.
can we help you?
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. There you
I've
are.
been
How can
trying
we
to
help
get-
you, Debbi?
Well, my story is that I'm a distributor for you guys, and I'm 5'2". I weigh about 180. Pre-diabetic, and my knees are aching me really, really bad. I don't know why. I've fallen twice in my life. I was 38 the first time, slipped in a big puddle of beer in a grocery store and kicked a cart, and it hurt my knee. I was laid up for a while. And then another time I slipped off a boat or off a dock.
We only have a moment here, so I want to ask you a couple of quick questions.
I just have knee problems really, really bad because of the cellulitis in one of my legs, and that's gone.
Okay, so what I want you to do, and again, this is for the greater population in New Zealand and Australia and California and so forth. So you're probably doing a lot of this stuff already, but you got to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, no sugar. And then at 180 pounds, once you take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. Once you take our MSM, because you have a knee problem, I'd get 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal. Once you get 2 bottles a month of our glucogel, so you can take 5 with each meal. Okay, 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner time. Don't forget the vitamin D3. Even though you're a California girl, you don't get naked and lay out in the sun for 4 hours every day. Okay, if you go out in the sun, you usually sit in the shade. So, or you may even put this sun blocker on to protect you from sunburn or skin cancer and all that kind of stuff. So I want you to take our vitamin D3 and see pre-diabetes. I want you to take 3 of our blood sugar, not packs, but the sweeties. Okay, take 3 sweeties twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month of the sweeties to add to the 2 healthy brain and heart packs. And are you on any medication for your sugar issues?
No, I just take the 90 essentials with you guys.
Okay,
and
okay,
I
good.
do a few other things too with it, with Youngevity.
Okay, okay, good. Well, that's what the sweeties is for, specifically for blood sugar issues. And then, give us a call. Don't forget, I'm on the radio Monday through Friday. There in the States.
5 days in a row. I tried to get through 5 days in a row.
You got to call earlier.
I know.
But thank you so much, and appreciate you. And we'll look forward to hearing from you up there in California. They're going to open up things eventually. We'll start having meetings again. But in the meantime, Zoom. Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Debbie. God bless.
Thanks,
God
Debbie.
bless you.
Jamal.
There you go. Lucky for the Aussies, huh? This call is welcome for everybody. Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for your time. We got like a couple of minutes left. I was just wondering if Dracy, you wanted to just finish off with just letting us know about the event coming up with Youngevity.
Oh, thank you, Jamel. I was just doing one more post on the final there in the chat, just reminding everybody after this call, go straight to the announcements on our Facebook group or join our group and make sure you share a big shout out to why you love our coffee or why you love coffee or a photo. But I just want to highlight that all of our 1 stars, we're doing 1-star calls every Tuesday morning. Scott Ferdulis is supporting it, but it's where we can be transparent and up to date on shipping, announcements, everything to do with our head office and how we can actually support you. So if you are wanting to be a 1-star and you have qualified at least 3 months in a row of the 300 Club, let me know and I will personally invite you to join that call. So other than that, thank you so much, Jamel. We hopefully should have our shipment really soon of our BTT. Other than that, we still have healthy body packs with BTT, and otherwise we're recommending other great products of Ultimate Daily Classics, as well as our PDMs and things like that. So I think that's pretty much what I have to share. I know we got lots of questions, of health questions for Dr. Wallach. So I hope you join us next weekend and with Doc right here and bring a guest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dracy. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. Thank you to all the callers. Thanks to moderator Mike. This will be uploaded in a few days. You can unmute yourself now and say, g'day, aloha, till next time. And thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jamal. Thank you. Good
day.
day.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Wallach.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach.
Bye.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so
Love
much.
you.
G'day, I'm Jamel Boukabou with Dr. Joel Wallach, who's been nominated for Nobel Prize for Medicine, has a book in the Smithsonian, and was awarded at the United Nations. Doc, your life's work, you are the naturopathic doctor, you're traveling around the world. What can we expect?
Well, what I'm going to do is teach people how to prevent as many as 900 different diseases, how to reverse as many as 900 different diseases, and by saving themselves and saving their families, will save the world.
Wow. And I'm an independent distributor, he's a doctor. So my job is to get that information out to you and refer to the best doctor, I think, on the planet, Dr. Joel Wallach. Get in touch with us now and we'll show you how. And you can create a great income too for your friends and your family, and you can really get some people healthy. Thank you.